start?
Senator, on immigration, we have a professor from Brown University who was deported. We had a gentleman from New Hampshire who was detained at Logan. Bunker Hill Community College is putting its international study abroad programs on hold because it's afraid that something could happen to students that won't be able to get back into the country while they're studying abroad. What's your reaction to that?
Donald Trump is breaking the law. And look, nobody wants people who are dangerous to be left on the loose, but that's not what's happening here. We have laws that we follow, and they apply to everyone. The person from Brown, for example, who is here lawfully, we need to follow our own laws before we remove anyone from this country. That is not only the humane thing to do, it's actually an approach that keeps us all safe. Because if Donald Trump just gets to be king and says, I don't like you, or I don't like your attitudes, so you're out of here, then nobody is safe.
I wonder, I have two questions.
Sure.
Is it a Democratic strategy to have these kinds of meetings because Republican leaders have advised Republican lawmakers not to do it because they've been so hostile?
I think of this as a small d Democratic strategy. This is how democracy is supposed to work. Elected officials come back and talk to their constituents. But now that Republicans have been advised not to talk to their constituents because they're going to hear just how unpopular many of those Republican actions and pending bills are, the Republican leadership wants to cover it all up. This is more of a sandstorm while Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the spineless Republicans keep driving through big giveaways for billionaires and make everybody else in this country pay for it. We're not going to do that.
Senator, you said in January, I believe it was in the New York Times, that you'd be willing to try to find common ground.
You bet.
Do you still believe that?
Look, I tried. I sent Elon Musk a letter with 30 specific places that we could make cuts in the federal government to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. I named the programs and independently verified how much money could be saved. Total amount, $2 trillion. I offered straight up, said, I'll come, I'll work with you on all 30, I'll work with you on one. You pick. And Elon Musk never responded. Instead, he goes off and fires air traffic controllers, fires the people who handle nuclear waste materials, fires our teachers. This is fundamentally wrong. Elon Musk is not interested in getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. He's interested in a giant headline, a lot of chaos, and driving toward that tax law that is going to give him billions and billions more and make everybody else pay for it. I'm on it.
Some people have suggested that lawmakers should do more, that Democrats should do more, and in particular, the Senate Finance Committee may be holding an unofficial hearing, to call people up and explain exactly what's going on here. Is that an option on the table, or what do you say to the folks who are worried that Democrats are not being aggressive?
Look, I'm trying to get all of my colleagues as actively in the fight as humanly possible. I've had one of those hearings. We call it a spotlight hearing. I invited all the Republicans, but they didn't come. But actually had people in to explain what had happened to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I am urging my other colleagues to hold those hearings, and I'm joining them in those hearings. Look, we need to use every tool in the toolbox. No tool is too small. No tool has been lying around dusty too long for us to pick it up and use it. This is an emergency. What Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing is breaking the law, breaking the Constitution, and threatening our very democracy.